Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. This is the 1UP Superstar Series. We are back from our summer break, and we are live for race number 13 of the 1UP Superstar Series season, and we're in the heart of France for this one, in this high-speed oval and located in the heart of Paris. We're so glad to have you along with us. And alongside me in the booth, making his 1UP Racing broadcast debut, is Cade Welty, my good friend Cade, here in the broadcast booth. So good to have you here. Welcome to the booth, and I hope you enjoy your first race from up here.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. I just actually flew in, so I'm a little jet lagged, but it's actually, I like Paris. I had a baguette earlier and a cup of coffee, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to watch these cars go up to around 210 is what the speeds we're seeing here in practice and qualifying, so I'm excited to see a really good race and ready to put on a show for these fans.
And speaking of qualifying, we can give you the full starting lineup. We have the 19 of Blair getting her second career pole, and they've both come on foreign soil. She got her first pole in Brazil last season, and now she's got one here in France this season, and she's got Lane Sanders alongside her in the 41 Mountain Dew Ford. We got Joshua Michaels and Jake McMillan in row 2. Duke Anzac rounds out the top 5. We've got some big names starting fairly deep in the field. We got Jared Polansky starting 15th in this race here today. We've got the Armory Digital winner Kyle Waters starting deep in 26th. And passing is very difficult to accomplish here at this track. So if you're going to make a pass here, where do you think is the best spot to make it? You want to make it going into the turn, or you want to have the momentum coming out?
I would say coming out, because if the straightaways are long and if we're hitting speeds of 210, I think the draft's going to be a big, huge, crucial factor here. And I would like if I'm the driver and if I'm driving the race car, I'm doing the pass on the front straightaway or coming out of the corner, because that's where all my momentum's going to be. And they're going to be looking in my mirror, and I'm just going to have way too much momentum and just slingshot them, drag race it.
So with that being said, the cars are on the track. We're ready to bring you the action, and we are set for race number 13 of the 1UP Superstar Series schedule at the Paris Autodrome, and we'll take you to the green flag next. Stay tuned. The field rolls through turns 3 and 4 with Blair on the inside, Sanders on the outside. They come off turn 4 into the restart zone marked by those white lines. The green flag is out. We're underway here in Paris, and Blair in the 19 gets a huge jump on the field. She's going to lead him going into turn 1. The battle for second, though, heating up between Joshua Michaels and Lane Sanders. It looks like Michaels will be able to clear Sanders coming off of turn 2 for the first time.
Oh. A little bit of nudge there as the 41 is going to drop down to the bottom. The 26, I saw, got a great push on that 19 car. Blair, so probably helped that inside lane going, but Blair jumped out to an early lead, as I think we're 2 wide or almost 3 wide back there for second or third. That's
the battle for 4th, actually, because Jake McMillan has positioned himself nicely into the 3rd position, while Lane Sanders battles Duke Anzac for the 4th position. We're just keeping an eye on this 19, because the lead is the most important position to hold. You want to be in position to win when this race ends. As you see back in the background, you can see Lane Sanders here, the Pensacola 500 winner, fending off Jeffrey Finguy in the 92, a 2-time winner this season, ahead of Duke Anzac in that bright green number 83. And as we come up to complete lap 2, we've been incident free so far, with an average speed of 195 miles per hour already.
Wow.
Expect that speed to climb as the laps progress, well above 200 as this race gets fully underway.
I will be interested in seeing the tire wear drop off here and how that affects the overall average speed, but as we are watching, the 26 is actually closing, using that draft from the 19 and with the 21 closing in, so front 3 is really broken away, and our guys start outside row. The 41, that Mountain Dew car has dropped back to 4th place, so not looking so good here to start off this race.
He only has the 2 top 10s this season, one of which was his win in the Pensacola 500 to start the season. So I'm sure he'd be very happy with a 4th place finish to cap off his season. He really needs a good run to vault himself back into the playoffs. He entered today 21st in points, and with the gap between 12th and 20th so close together, he really needs a good run to vault himself back into playoff contention, because remember, only the top 12 can fight for a championship.
That is very true. As while we're watching and talking about this, here comes the 26. He might be looking at the bottom. 26 going to the inside there.
Yeah, but Blair's got the run up from the high side. She's going to be able to clear Michaels in the 26, and Blair will be uncontested in that battle. But McMillan's going to try and make a run on Michaels for second. 21. Jake McMillan, he's shown some real pace as of late this season. He's jumped up into a tie for the 12th spot in points with Andres Molina, and with the 71 of Molina running far further back in the field than this 21 car, he's going to be in prime position to jump into one of those coveted playoff spots here, even with just a third-place finish.
Yeah, what I also like to point out here is we have 3 different manufacturers sweeping up your top 3 with a Ford, Toyota, and Chevy. So Ford winning the battle, actually. And 4th place is the 41, who's also a Ford. So Ford and Toyota tie the manufacturer number. So that 21 of Jake is the only Chevy right now in the top 5. So looks like early Ford and Toyota dominance here at Paris.
The next Chevrolet in the field is Ben McDonald running 9th in the number 12, and right behind him is teammate Henry Thomas. Actually, the entire Vento Motorsports operation is running in the top 10 here. McMillan 3rd, McDonald 9th, and Thomas in 10th. So a strong running from the Chevrolets here this evening in 3rd, 9th, and 10th. But as we go down the back straightaway to complete lap number 8, the battle for the lead is tightening up between Blair, Michaels, and McMillan.
Yeah, they're really using that draft off the lane, but what I'm seeing is right when the 26 gets to the 19, he's pulling inside, and it's just losing. It's just the run's just being killed there with that little bubble that these Cup cars, Superstar cars put off. Is that huge spoiler has a little bubble. He can't fully complete that pass, so we'll be interested to see if there's any bump draft or maybe he actually moves him up the track. So it's been interesting to watch, but the 19's been on top, leading every lap so far.
A good run from Jake McMillan in this 21. We talked about it a little earlier. He's tied for that 12th spot in points. He missed the playoffs last season despite a 2-win season. Wins at Charlotte and at Watkins Glen last season solidified his space as one of the top drivers in the sport. But he's yet to find victory lane this season, despite a close shave at Denver a few weeks ago. As you see a battle behind him between the 2 green cars of Sanders and Antzak. That is the battle for 4th position, and it appears it'll be settled in favor of Lane Sanders. But as we look at McMillan here, he's had a good season, but he's just got one thing left to do, and that's win a race.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an impressive season so far, I would say. You talked about those 2 wins last year and struggling to find victory lane. And I think that's what some drivers just need is momentum. I think he's actually tied for 12th on the points, so that would really boost him up on the points. He is about 0 laps led, it says this on my stat sheet so far this year. So he hasn't even been out front leading laps. So I struggling to get that car up front. Maybe there's stronger cars, but a good solid day for that 21 car team. They really need that to boost themselves up into the points and solidify their 12th spot.
And keep in mind, one of those 2 wins last season was at Watkins Glen, where he hit a grand slam, led every lap from pole, and set the fastest lap of the race to boot. So that was a career day for Jake McMillan, and if he's not gonna lead all the laps today because Blair's already led the first 12. But if McMillan wants to get up to the front, he's got to find a way around Michaels and Blair in a race where passing is very difficult, but not impossible, as we saw early on in the race. As we have a look at Lane Sanders having a very strong run in the 4th position here, and it appears that we've got some single file through the majority of the field, but that's to be expected at a place like Paris where the draft is so critical. No one wants to pull out, make a move here. But you're going to have to make some sort of move if you want to take the lead here, as Michaels is going to try and make a move here, but his momentum is going to stall out going into 3, and he'll have to be stuck behind the 19 once more.
Yeah, Michaels is the only person I've seen trying to pull out and make a pass, and he's been the only one who's been close to making a pass. We saw a battle for 4th through 5th back there at the start of the race, and 4th through 6th, sorry, they just couldn't go anywhere. Awesome, when we were taking a look here at that 41 car, we were taking a look, he dropped back 2 positions, so maybe that's good for the team. I mean, they can always take a good run. Top 5 is always an incredible run, as you said, but maybe not what the team is looking at after a qualified front row. Maybe disappointing so far to start. Here comes the 26, actually, looking to the inside, check out in the mirror here.
Yeah, and Blair's going to be able to fend him off. This Finish Line Motorsports team, this 19 car, hasn't been running up to team owner Justin Hutchinson's expectations. He wants all 4 of his cars running up front, dominating races, winning races, leading laps. So far, only 2 of his cars have been able to do that. The one he drives himself, number 10, and his 91 car driven by Nick Ortiz. So, the other 2 cars are Blair and Ricky Freeman Jr. in the L1. they've struggled a bit this season. They are currently running 17th and 18th in the point standings as of right now, well outside the playoff picture. And a win from Blair would certainly help. It would be her second career win. She got her first at Brazil, another race where she started on pole and led a lot of laps. But if Blair wants to put herself in a good position with this team, Hutchinson has stated his contract negotiations with this 19 team have stalled. So a run like this will really help as Michaels makes a move on the inside, trying to take the lead away.
I don't think he's going to do it. The 21's on the outside, give him push. You know, enough. Oh, the 21 might actually rocket around the 26 here. 26 going to lose to 2 positions, maybe?
Round the outside comes Jake McMillan. He will take second place, and he will begin to chase after Blair in the 19. We'll see what he can do with the 19. Interrupted my thought with that intense scrap for second place. But Blair is not secure with this team, nor is Ricky Freeman Jr., and Freeman is running deep in the field while Blair is leading. So Hutchinson's got to be feeling happy about the performance of this 19 car right now. As we check in on the fastest lap bonus point, Lane Sanders in the 41 holds that with a 26.53. It's a very fast lap time around this place, and it'll give him an extra bonus point, and that will help him a lot in his bid to make the playoffs in 2021.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this 21 car go chase Blair here. I think Jake's been the only car that has like driven up through the field. Let me check here. Jake started fourth, and he's already up to second, so he's passed the most cars so far, and he's catching the 19, our leader. So it's gonna be really interesting to see. Can Jake score his first win of the year? Can he get back into victory lane?
And as the field comes off turn 2, I believe we're just slowing down because the caution flag is flown for the first time on lap 21 for Glenn Nixon, the rookie making his second start of his career in the 34. He is on pit road with some sort of mechanical gremlins biting his car. The caution flag waves for the first time here today, and the field will be bunched back up, and we'll have ourselves a restart here coming up shortly.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how these guys shape up, how they defend for position.
As the field starts to straighten itself out under the back behind the pace car, and it looks like Roberto Crown Jr. in the 81 will be the only car to hit pit road under this caution. He might as well. He's in last place anyway. Might as well pop on some fresh tires, see what he can do from there, making up ground, get a little splash of gas, see what he can do there. But we will get a replay of what happened to Glenn Mixon here shortly to find out what happened to this number 34 car. So here's Glenn Mixon in the 34. He was running deep in the field, about 40th position, and the car just quits on him coming off of turn 4. Something maybe a kill switch must have activated in that 34 car, because that's a sudden deceleration right there. And his hopes for a good finish have just gone down the drain, because he is now sitting in the pits while they frantically try and diagnose what's wrong with that car. He figures it's safer to just pull off to the inside and try to and rather than risk coming up into traffic. So he gets the tow back to pit lane. He'll get his stuff fixed, and he'll rejoin this race, I assume, but he'll rejoin it 2 or 3 laps down in that Kroger Mustang. So as the field roars past him to take the caution flag under this replay, but it's a tough break for Glenn Mixon. It's only his second career start, but he'll have plenty more opportunities to show his talents. He had a strong run at Pocono a few weeks ago, and while this isn't the run he really wanted at Paris, I'm sure it'll be a lesson learned for him, and he'll be able to learn and move on to when the Superstar Series returns at Kentucky.
Yeah, I was watching that replay. That car, like, shook. Like, the rear housing, like, shook, like if something broke on it. But the car is rolling now, so maybe I think it's maybe an electrical problem, more than likely, or what you said, gremlins getting at it. But it'll be interesting to see these cars rolling back when they take the green here. I think if Jake McMillan can get a great push from that 26 or any car behind him, he can make a pass. I think Jake McMillan has the fastest car on the track right now, or at least the best long-run car. Might not be the fastest, overall car, but I would say right now, long run, I put my money on the 21.
Yeah, and with the lights still on the pace car, we'll have a little bit till we get back racing. I imagine we'll return to racing on lap 25, so we'll have one more lap under yellow, and as the field rolls under the safety car, we will have one more lap of yellow flag conditions, as the lights should be going out on the pace car this time by. We will check and confirm with that. And yes, the lights are out on the pace car. We will have one lap to go until the restart. We'll restart on lap 25. Blair is your leader. Jake McMillan second. Joshua Michaels running in third ahead of Lane Sanders and Duke Anzac rounding out your top five. Then it's Jeffrey Finguy 6th, Stephen Gale in the 35 7th, Nick Ortiz 8th, Ben McDonnell and Henry Thomas in the other two Vento Motorsports Chevrolets rounding out the top 10, as you see Glenn Mixon taking his spot on the inside line. I would imagine Mixon would be able to keep up with these guys fairly well because he's got new electronics in that car after they replaced the old ones, so he should be able to keep pace. It'll be interesting to see how he affects the battle for the lead between Blair, McMillan, and Michaels.
Yeah, that 34, I mean, it's good to see that Kroger car back out there, though. That's scary. That car just shut off, but I think they're getting ready to take green here in a couple of seconds, but yeah, that'll definitely shake things up. Maybe we might see a 3-wide pass for the lead at this rate, or just 3-wide in general. So I'm excited to see this 21 and the cars behind, see if anyone can upset Bree right now. She has led every single lap in this race, dominant so far. I mean, it is hard to pass the starting a pole. It's crucial, but it'll be interesting to see if anyone can dethrone the 19.
Pace car is off, leaves us in the hands of Blair, McMillan, Mixon, and Michaels. The green flag is out. We're back underway. Remember, you can't pass to the left until you get to the start-finish line, but as soon as they cross the line, Michaels made a dive to the inside. He's going to put his hopes behind Glenn Mixon and hope that those electronics are working good in that 34 car. He's making a move under McMillan for second. That's going to open up the outside for Lane Sanders, who crosses under Michaels in the move for third position. We're almost 3 wide there, but now we're side by side for not second anymore because Mixon has lapped down, but it looks like McMillan will be able to clear the 34, and this frantic battle between Michaels and Sanders is going to heat up as Duke Anzac looks for an opening behind them.
Yeah, I saw a bit of contact back there with the 35. I was a little scared someone was getting right hooked there, but McMillan rolling the outside lane better than anyone else right now. So 41, looks to the inside, but can't complete that outside lane. Just dominant, Bree driving away, but the 21, I think he's catching. It'll be interesting to see these battles here in the back row with the 41 catching to the 26.
And with Michaels now held up behind Glenn Mixon in the 34, Michaels is now stuck in an unenviable position as McMillan makes a move on the inside for the lead. He's got to hope his momentum sticks. He's got to stay to that left rear quarter panel and hope that side draft can help him to the lead.
Oh,
he's gonna try. The outside line is just too strong, and as they come up turn 4, Blair will continue to lead the way as McMillan now is shuffled back to second, and he's got to keep an eye out for Joshua Michaels back there, because even if he's got Glenn Mixon separating the two of them, keep in mind that's just an extra car for Michaels to draft off of, and that can give him momentum to get back around this 21.
That 21, I'm telling you, is the strongest car. He's the only car to even... He took the 19 into the corner and stayed at the rear. Stayed at the side even there. So, 26 couldn't do that. We haven't seen the 41 couldn't make a pass. We only probably have to mirror off of how strong it is that 26. So, that 21's fast. It might be their lucky day, but it's early in this race. A lot can happen, as we talked about that one caution.
I honestly wouldn't count out anybody in this top 5. We've got Blair, who's searching for her second win and a contract extension with Finish Line Motorsports. Jake McMillan looking for his first win of the season. Joshua Michaels looking for his first win at all. Remember, he came 5 1/1000ths of a second from winning at Armory Digital. As we've got a car stalled on the track. It looks like it's Henry Brown in the 22, Joshua Michaels' teammate, as the field cycles around. The 22 with a problem pulling off to the side of the track. But unlike the situation with Glenn Mixon, we will be staying green for this one. So Henry Brown will drop several laps off the pace at what is considered to be his home racetrack here at Paris, which is the closest to his home of his native Portugal. But that's just an unfortunate circumstance for Henry Brown, finally getting to race fits fairly close to home, and to have his race end like that, that's just a real shame for that 22 team.
That was scary there. I thought we were about to see big carnage. I was glad to see every driver being smart and winning that, but that was a bit of a shock. They come off the corner, there's a car stopped in the middle of the track. But talking about the battle for the lead here, the 21 is slowly fading away. Almost 3/10 now. Blair has still led every single lap. Dominant race by Blair so far. It's a long race still. I don't know. I mean, it's going to take some time, I think, for that 21, but maybe he used up his stuff on that pass. We don't know.
We still have 57 laps to go in this race. So, like as you said, anything can still happen in this race. We still got plenty of time to settle the winner. And like I said before, I would not count out anybody in this top 5 from Blair all the way back to Anzac, because these cars are in a very strong position running in the top 5. And even if they're not leading this race, we proved earlier in this race that passing is not impossible here. You just need to have the right momentum and the right lane. But these cars seem to favor making moves on the inside, and that's just not where the passing's going to happen, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that outside lane is very strong. I mean, the only pass that we've seen, at least while our cameras caught, was Jake McMillan. Where did he pass? The outside lane. And I don't see the 19 giving up the outside lane unless there's a lap car there. So it's going to be tough. I think any of these top 5 can do it, but really I just only think Jake can do it right now. He's the only one in striking distances. There's only 3 cars all in within a second after that. They're with that almost 2 seconds back from first is 5th place. So it's gonna be kind of hard to make a strike all the way back there. Well, it'll be interesting to see how these cars work their way up to the field.
Keep in mind we still have a pit stop to make as well, and the prevalence for more cautions is apparent. We are always we always say in the 1UP Superstar Series, anything can happen, and it usually does. So, with that being said, we're keeping our eyes peeled for any danger on the racetrack. Keep an eye on those caution lights. They're green for the time being, but when they start flashing, you know there's trouble on the racetrack, and we will bring you the action wherever it may be on the racetrack, whether it be in first place or whether it be in 41st place. That's just what we do here, as Blair continues to dominate this race. She has led all 36 laps so far. I believe this is the most laps she's ever led in a 1UP Superstar Series event. So a very good run from this 19 car. Hopefully she can capitalize and score her first win of 2021.
Yeah, I've been watching these lap times here, and Jake's the only one keeping a constant lap time. 3rd place has dropped a whole 10th. 4th place has dropped almost a whole 3/10, and 5th place has dropped a whole 3/10 to 4/10. So I think Jake's your guy to beat for 2nd place. And can't really get around that 19 right now.
Yeah, no one can get around that 19 at the moment. Blair is just doing such a good job of defending. She's putting her car in the right positions here. And even when she's going down to the inside, she does it with confidence that no one's going to go to her outside, because it's so tricky to make a run up there. Every time we've seen a car go up to the high side in turn 3, for example, we've seen them fade back down to the bottom fairly quickly.
Oh, here we go.
McMillan making a move on the inside once again. Let's see if he can make this one stick. He's got to stay to her inside. He's got a nose ahead. Will he be able to stay clear? You got to let off a little more there on the bottom lane, and Blair's proving my point. She rockets out the top side, having to throttle less, and she defends the lead. But that was a very good effort from Jake McMillan. It goes to show that he hasn't used this stuff up, not necessarily, but it also goes to show that we've got a long way to go in this race.
Yeah, I was watching that 34 rocketed the outside and gave a huge run over 21. I was watching, it was coming down that front stretch right here. Basically, we're seeing the same thing, just not as close. That 34 just rocketed and gave the 21 of Jake McMillan a huge run, and actually brought the 26. He brought the whole top 5 with him. So 34 is doing his job at bringing the competition closer. So the 26 actually looking in on the inside here.
And not just the top 5, but 6th place Stephen Gale is making gains as well. In the 35, you saw him at the back of your shot. But right now, it's Blair in the 19 dominating this race. She's led all 40 laps so far. If she can lead up till lap 46, she will lock up the bonus points for most laps led, which will be, she can score a maximum of 53 points today. If she can set the fastest lap, win the race, lead the most laps, that'll get her 53. And even without the fastest lap, that's still 52 points in her arsenal. So that's a very good points day for Blair in the 19 if she can hold on to win. Because remember, The difference between first and second in the 1-Up Superstar Series and the Nitro National Series, for that matter, is 5 points. You get 50 for winning, 45 for second, 40 for third, and then it goes down 1 point from there on back. So these top 3 positions are your critical positions you want to try and improve as much as you can to get into that top 3, because that's where the big points are.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the 21 can make a pass here. He was getting close. He's getting close every single straightaway onto the back bumper of that 19.7 into the corner. And if Jake gets out up front, it'll be his first laps led of the year, which will be really good for really positive momentum. But still a really strong day from that 21 car team. The only Chevy really seem to be able to reel in these Fords. I mean, look, the Ford, which is a lap car, is just as strong as Jake, so I think the Ford is the best one to beat. As actually, I think I saw a pass back there for 5th. Or there was a 4th and 5th right there. A little bit of a battle. Yeah,
settled in favor of Lane Sanders. He manages to fend off Anzac for 4th position. As McMillan continues to charge in 2nd place, we'll take the halfway lap this time by. And if Blair can lead these next 2 laps, she'll lock up the most laps led point. And that will be a huge benefit for her, as she, like we said, she's 17th in points going in. And she needs to be in that top 12 if she wants to go racing for a championship when the playoffs begin.
Yes, that is very true. As, again, I think we're seeing almost just like a mirror effect, or like we're just kind of seeing things over and over. It's like Groundhog Day. The 21 drops back to that 34. They get a huge run, and then the 21 pulls to the inside. Look, here it happens again. So I think the 21 can pass her. Problem is, when and does he try to do it on the outside? Does he make a risky move to pull the outside? Because Blair is just too strong.
He's going to have to make his move on the outside, I think, because Blair is just too strong to make a mistake like this. She's too good a driver to make mistakes too often. So he's got to hope that Blair slips up somehow, gives him the outside, maybe hooks that rumble strip on the inside line there. We haven't seen anyone go that far down yet, but it'll be interesting to see if someone bobbles a little bit, hits that rumble strip, and washes up. That could cause some serious trouble here at Paris. But with 48 laps complete, Blair continues to lead. She's locked up the point for the most laps led here this afternoon, so no one can take that away from her now. She's led 47 laps so far, and we're exactly halfway through this race, and Blair continues to show why she deserves this ride at Finish Line Motorsports.
Yeah, I would just like to point out, though, the 21 making a move. I'll point out actually after this move here. 21 looking at the inside.
And Blair chops him off. She keeps the lead. Go on.
I was going to say, before the 21 decided to get our heart rate going, he tries to do it again. And
not quite. Blair just continues to fend him off as Mixon tries to get around McMillan on the outside to try and unlap himself here. That would be a story if Mixon could be able to pull that off, because now McMillan's got to come up in front of Michaels to try and block his momentum. He can't do it, and now Michaels is going to get around McMillan for second to put the 26 back into to the runner-up spot. That's 5 more points for the 26. He came into today pretty high up in the points ladder as well, just on the fringes of playoff contention. So Michaels putting in a good effort here as well.
Well, yeah, speaking of Michaels, actually your top 3, and maybe even your top 4, I'm trying to find the 41 here, but I'm just going to say your top 3 right now. Your top 3 has not won a race this year. You're going to get a first-time winner if this top 3 is the 3 guys battling at the end. Sorry, 2 guys and 1 woman. But this is really interesting to see. Here's a 34 making a move to the inside, trying to unlap himself.
Keep in mind, he's got fresher tires than the rest of the field, bar Roberto Crone Jr. at the back of the field. But Mixon's got the freshest tires of anybody so far, and he's trying to put them to good use. I thought that fresh tires would be more of an advantage here, but I guess you can stay. The tires are hard enough to where you can push them a really long way, because we're well past halfway into this race without a pit stop. We are going to expect one sometime in this race, whether it be lap 60, 70, 80, we don't know. But the pit window should be about lap 60 to 75, so expect stops around there. But regardless, we've got Michaels now, got a buffer car, as we like to call it, a lap car playing defense in between Blair and Michaels. And that buffer car is going to be a big hurdle for Michaels and McMillan to jump over.
Yeah, that 34 is fast, but what you're saying about the fresh tires, I think fresh tires matter if you're on the outside, but I think if you're just on the outside in general, you're going to be the fastest car. The inside lane just looks like you don't carry as much momentum, which makes sense. I think these guys are basically full throttle around here. McMillan's actually getting up to the... he's back there. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong car. But the 34 trying to unlap himself again. So strong run for this rookie here. Basically, really impressive. We thought he was out of it. We thought he lost all his laps after that freak mechanical problem. But he's back up there trying to run up the leader. Ford dominance continues, though.
Glenn Mixon is currently 3 laps down in that 34 car. He's trying to get one of them back here. And every lap counts, because if cars fall out of the race, and Henry Brown has fallen a few laps down as well after his pit mishap, so if Mixon can get around Blair here and get back to 2 laps down, that'll certainly help him in his battle with Brown. It'll help him if attrition falls his way. It'll just help him. It'll help him regardless, because having that clean air is a big factor, and that might just be why Blair's held the lead for so long.
I think you're right on that one there, but here comes look. I think this 34 is what these guys actually needed. They needed a car who was on fresher tires, who has the same manufacturer as the leader, and we could say maybe the Fords are the fastest. We don't know yet. The Fords did sweep the top 2 though in qualifying with the 41 and 19. But I think this 34 is actually a control car. Wherever the 34 goes, your second place car is gonna follow. And if, let's say, that second place car goes to the bottom, the 34 follows, you might see the 26 take lead. But that 34 is really who wins this race and who doesn't.
That is certainly true. With Glenn Mixon just trying whatever he can do to unlap himself from Blair in the 19. He's doing whatever he can. This is a strong performance from the rookie, despite his earlier mechanical woes. If only he were up front, we could see his real talents at the front of the field, but that Jeff Bolton racing car is not one of the better teams, so to show a performance out of this, it shows what the equipment can do in that 34 car. I'm hoping we can see this driver up at the front more often, because this is some great racing, regardless of if it's for the race lead or if it's just to get a lap back.
That is very true. It's very impressive. You said this is the second ever start in this series, if I'm correct?
Yes.
And that is really impressive. If you're running down Blair, Blair is obviously a world-class driver. She's led every lap here. She's sitting right now 17th in points, but 3 top 10s on the year. I think the biggest factor is her 2 DNFs. If you don't have those 2 DNFs, you could have maybe another top 5, another top 10. So those 2 really did hurt her. But at 34 is putting up a strong showing. Team owners, if you're looking for a new driver next year, I think we're actually under caution. I say a caution us maybe. But you're looking for a new team owner or new driver.
Yeah, there is caution on the speedway. There was trouble in turn 3. We'll try and find who was involved in this one as they race back to the caution flag on lap 60. Roberto Crown Jr. looks like he's got a little damage. Ricky Freeman Jr. dropped back. Ryan Soper dropping back through the field as well. Next time we come around to the pit lane, we'll take a look at who was involved in this to see if there's any serious damage. Oh, yeah, we've got some big damage. Michael McCuskey, William Brock with damage, and Cody Goforth. This will be his first DNF of 2021. All 3 of those cars now done for the day on lap 61, as the field now is pulling in to make their pit stops. This will be their pit lap right here. They'll be able to pit under caution. They won't lose too much time, and this will be a quickie yellow, and that'll allow Mixon to pit with the race leaders. So Blair will have a good advantage coming out of the pits here. But we want to get a replay of what happened to Brock, to Goforth, to McCuskey, and it looks like Brandon Beal as well with some damage. But this race is just taking a turn here with this caution flag. So this is Cody Goforth. He was back in the high 30s racing William Brock. I think Goforth might be trying to pit, and he just comes across William Brock's path. Ooh! Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
That was it. I have never seen that in a 1-Up Superstar Series race ever. With what happened to William Brock, his car just got stuck into the wall, into the catch fence. That is going to be a lengthy cleanup to deal with as Anderson Reed pulls into his pit. that was a serious impact for all three of those cars right there. I'm not so sure I've ever seen anything like this before. Here, we're seeing William Brock, and I think Goforth cuts across his path trying to get to pit road maybe, and he just gets into the wrong spot. Man, that's just, I've never seen that before. That is truly something that you never hope to see that, and it's just a shame because he was having a pretty okay run this season. He's had a good season so far. 8 laps led, a top 5, couple top 10s for the rookie William Brock, but we are on board now with William Brock in the 93. This is going to be a wild ride as Goforth on the outside comes down and just hits Brock in the wrong spot.
Gosh.
Wow, I truly have never seen anything quite like this. And William Brock has climbed out of that car, so thank goodness for that. But he will be taken to the infield care center. We'll have word on him after the race is over. And yeah, this has just been an unfortunate incident involving 3 drivers that we really hoped would not be involved in incidents today, especially Cody Goforth. He has had such a clean season so far. He's not done too great. He's 30th in points, but he's yet to have a DNF in this season up until now. As you can see, Blair is despite what you're seeing on screen, Blair is still your leader, but there are several cars on the tail end of the lead lap just in front of her. So they will be fighting to stay on the lead lap while Blair's
jumped a lot here on pit road too. Sorry.
Yeah, these guys are just going to have to fight their way through the field. As you can see, the lights are out on the pace car. We will be going green this time, but this was quite the caution, quite a turnaround for this race.
It's going to be quite the traffic jam for these leaders. Sorry I cut you off earlier, but that 41 jumped 2 positions off the road. It's a great stop at that 41. But this would be a huge traffic jam. These cars are all beaten up or slower. I mean, if they're running towards the tail end. So, can someone get around Blair? Can someone lead a lap that isn't Blair?
We will find out on this restart. The pace car pulls on the pit road, and we saw a similar situation at Hillside a few weeks ago, where the leader of the race was not necessarily the car out in front on the restart, but as they come off turn 4, the green flag comes back out, and we're underway once again, and Joshua Michaels wasting no time to get to Jake McMillan's outside. He's going to try and make a move along with Duke Ansack in 83. Blair's going to try and get around Roberta Crown Jr., who's obviously off the pace. She will. And Crown's just going to hold up McMillan in the worst way. He's going to drop back. Now Duke Ansack's up into the picture as Ryan Soper gets lapped by the leader. And now we have a very interesting battle because Lane Sanders is in the mix for the lead here. As he's going to try and make a move on Blair for the lead. She chops him off, though.
Oh, 3 wide for a second here. Yep. He's going to get the benefit here, maybe. Yeah,
Ansack's going to get the run off the high side. He's going to take second place. Will he? We haven't seen what this 83 car can do yet. What can he do in this race? Could he be the biggest challenger to this 19 car? We haven't seen what Ansack can do with a clear track, and we're not going to see what he can do with a clear track, because this is the opposite of a clear track. We've got a bumper-to-bumper action between Michaels and Blair for the lead. He's riding her back bumper, trying to get her to make a mistake, but Michaels has to learn at some point that this is Michaels' first full season. Blair's been at this for a while. Michaels made a bunch of starts last season. That's why he's not classified as a rookie here. But regardless, this is still his first full season, and he's got to learn that Blair is not a driver who will make mistakes easily.
Yeah, Duke actually getting back that position for second. Is that the last car Blair has to pass? Is that 22, I think is what it is? Oh, there's a bunch of other cars up there.
Yeah, so, the 23 of Ryan Soper is the closest one to Blair in the 19. He finally finished the race at Pocono. That was his main goal at Pocono. He was riding a 5 DNF streak for a while, but he managed to rectify that at Pocono, and now he's just hoping to run all the laps, finish the race, and move on to Kentucky, where hopefully he'll have a better run. He was 19th in practice, but that speed is not translated over. But he does manage to unlap himself from the 19. That's very impressive. He managed to do. But here comes Duke Ansack trying to make a move on Blair, but she just holds him off as we're coming up to 20 laps to go.
Well, I don't know why Duke, but Duke tried to follow the 19, try to push past the 23. But the problem is, the outside lane is where you want to be. and he gave it up. I don't know what he was thinking there. Maybe he thought he could just shove past Ryan Sopar there with Blair. But I think there's a missed opportunity for the 83 to see if he can get back there. I think you're correct on the clean air. Is that 23 has been able to stay in front of the 19. He's obviously way slower. So.
Yes, and there's a bit of a gap to head to Jordan Presto in the 61 just ahead of these guys. So Blair continues to lead. She's led all 71 laps so far, but Lane Sanders still holds the fastest lap of the race, and I'm pretty sure he'll be able to keep it. So that's a good point for Lane Sanders. As here comes Duke Anzac once more, but he tucks in behind the 19 once again. She's trying to find a different line that works for him. But he's got to understand that, here's Blair making a move on Soper. Maybe this is an opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know why he keeps tucking back in. We've been saying all race, outside lane is where you're going to do it. All the passing has come from the outside lane, unless you have like 3 cars behind you on the inside lane. Duke has been good on the outside.
Oh, here he comes around the outside. Duke Anzac, we're going to have our first lead change of the day on lap 72. Blair led all the laps so far, but now it's Anzac out front. He leads lap 72. And he is your new race leader. We'll see if he can hang on to this. And we'll see if we haven't seen Blair in the position of attacker yet this race. So it'll be interesting to see what she can do to try and take the lead back.
Can they hear us? Are they listening to us? Are they got like a headset in listening to the broadcast? Because I was ridiculing him. I was going off on how he's not using the outside. And then he just used the outside and rocketed around here as the 19's looking to the outside. Yeah,
Blair has not been in this position all race long. She's had the lead for the entire race, but now she's in a position where she's in second place to Duke Anzac, and she's got to find a way around, maybe by using the 61 or the 23 as a pick to try and get around the 83, but I just don't see how it's going to work because it's just so hard to pass here, and Blair's already dropping back.
She's fading.
Yeah, her advantage was that she had clean air. Without it, she's just another also-ran because Anzac is starting to pull away a little bit. He has a 0.3 of a second lead over Blair, but he ducks to the inside to try and get around the 23. And that could allow Blair to get some momentum going around the outside. We're coming to 15 laps to go here, so if there's going to be a time to make a move, it's got to be soon.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out 2 drivers here. The battle for the lead keeps going as a third place car joins the battle. But Kyle, the 62 is running 10th. He qualified 26th, so great run out of them. And then the 77 car is up into the top 10, running 8th right now. He qualified 24th. So
we've got I hate to interrupt, but we've got a battle for the lead between 3 cars. And it looks like Blair's going to actually get around Anzac here on the outside. I am going to go back to what you said, though, as Blair takes the lead back from Duke Anzac. So she is back out front. I will go back to what you said, though, about Diego Yepes in the 77. This would be his first career top 10 if he can hang on to it. That would be a very strong run from the 77 car, who had a penalty come his way after the race at Las Vegas, if you joined us for that race, where Stephen Hunter was in that harrowing crash, and Yepes was penalized as a result of it. That has dropped him out of the top 30 in owners points, and he's been struggling to get back in ever since. So this top 10 run would be a huge opportunity for the 77 team to get back up into the top 30 and into a locked-in position for Kentucky.
This 23 car has made this racing so much better. He's been, wherever the 23 is, the leaders aren't when they get close, and that's helping 83, 19. It helped the 19 get around the 83. 83 got around the 19. So this battle ain't over as we're approaching, coming to 21 left to go. But this battle's not over. Where it's a tight battle for first to third.
You know, and I don't think I've ever heard that sentence before. The 23 makes the race better. I've never heard that one before, but it's certainly come true here today, as he's held up the leaders just enough to make some passes possible as we're coming to 11 laps to go this time by. And Blair is still out front of this race. Mixon has made his way back up to 37th. He's still 3 laps down, but that's a much better position than he would have been in had that crash not happened to take out 4 of his competitors. So it's a good run for him, and Blair is having a very strong run. She will have led so much of this race. It'd be a shame if she doesn't win this. But I'd still keep an eye out for Duke Anzac. He's just lurking back there. He's got help from another Toyota in Joshua Michaels. So if those two work together, they could try and get a run. But of course, as soon as I say that, they go side by side for second. So of course, they're not paying attention to a word I say. They just want every position they can get.
Yeah, but I was actually about to point out, if they work together, Blair's caught the 23. Blair's car, unless she can pull off the pass here, is not strong on that inside. I don't think any car other than, I think the strongest car on the inside was Jake McMillan, that 21, and he's dropped back all the way to 6th. So heartbreak there. He was running solid top 5 for most of the day, but at 23, I'm telling you, when they catch that 23, the little bubble that these cars produce, you just can't get around them. So here comes the 83 and 26 working together back up for the leader, Blair.
We've got 8 laps to go here at Paris. Remember, Blair's first career win in this series also came on foreign soil. She won the Jacarapagua circuit in Brazil. Apologies to all the Brazilian fans if I have just butchered that name, but she did get her first career win there, and she's trying to get her second career win now here on foreign soil as well here in Paris. That would be an odd little quirk to add to her racing career, but Aitzak's catching up to her in a big hurry, and with 7 laps to go, he's got to be thinking about making a pass soon.
I think he's going to pull it here on 3 and 4. If Blair goes low, I think he goes high. If that passes happen, and this would actually be very funny. Blair's going for her second career win, and Aitzak is going for his second win of the season. So,
which would also be his second career win. He got his first at Hillside earlier this season. So Duke Aitzak seems to fare very well on these tracks with very high banking and the standard oval layout, because that's what Hillside was earlier in the season, and that's what this is here today. And Duke Aitzak's having a very strong run at both. He's trying to track down Blair, but a lead as we're coming to 5 laps to go this time.
Yeah, that 23, I'm telling you, that dude gets up there, and then here comes the rest of the field behind her. But this is going to be very interesting. Last 5 or 4 laps here, last 5 laps. The top 3 is separated by a total of 4 tenths from first to third. 4 tenths of a second. That lap car plays one foul move, and Duke and the 26 are right there. As we're saying, here comes the 19 looking to the inside, trying to make a pass finally on this lap car, but I don't think she's going to be able to do it.
No, she's not going. Well, she might actually. She's got a fender on him, and if she can keep her right front on his left rear, that
Duke.
Here comes Aitzak around the outside with 4 laps to go. He's going to make a move to the outside, and Aitzak is through to the lead. Was that the pass for the win right there here at Paris?
It's not over yet.
We've got 3.5 laps to go. Here comes Blair back to the outside. She's going to try and make a move on Aitzak to try and take the lead back here. But he's got the run. I think he's going to be able to clear her here.
The 26. Now, who does the 26 work with? Does the 26 try to push the 19 back past the 83, or do they play a little bit of teammate manufacturer and just try to keep Duke Aitzak in the lead? Great pass, great racing there, but I think you might be correct. That could have been the pass for the win, and guess who would have been that control car at 23 of Ryan Silcock.
Yeah, and we're coming to 2 laps to go this time, and they're side by side for second, which is settled in favor of Blair in the 19. Blair has led 81 laps of this race, and to finish second, I'm sure would be a disappointment to her, but she's got to take comfort in knowing she was the best car all day. She led all those laps. I have a feeling her contract with Finish Line Motorsports is safe, at least for another year, as we're coming to the white flag, this time by.
Yeah, like I would say, it's not over, though. Here comes Blair back to the back bumper of the 83. She's going to have one shot coming to the corner. Can she do it?
White flag in the air one more time around from Paris. And as Blair tries to make a move, Aitzak covers her off. She's going to have one more chance. She's going to have one more chance. Aitzak gets to the inside of Soper, but Blair's going to try and make a move around the outside, and she can't make it. The momentum stalls, and as they round 3 and 4 for the final time, it was success on the high banks of Hillside. It's success once again for Duke Aitzak. He wins at Hillside. After a frenetic final few laps with Blair in the 19, he can celebrate. If that race had just been 1 lap longer, Blair would have taken the lead back, as you can see. But Duke Aitzak is your race winner today. A thrilling race. Joshua Michaels comes home third ahead of Stephen Gale in the 35. Haven't mentioned him much all day. He gets another top 5. And Lane Sanders, he gets a well-earned top 5 in 5th position, ahead of Justin Hutchinson in the 10 in 6th. Jake McMillan 7th. Diego Yepes gets his first career top 10 in 8th, ahead of Henry Thomas. and Kyle Vaughters, the Armory Digital winner, rounding out your top 10 here today. This was a very exciting race, even if one driver led 81 of the 90 laps. That was still a very exciting race, and I'm very glad we decided to come to Paris for this round number 13 of the schedule, because that was electric at the finish.
That was very electric. You were right. That caution changed the whole outcome of this race. We were like, Blair's got this one, and green flag pit stops. Blair's going to drive away with that clean air. Blair. Now, I would like to say Blair only lost to the car that Duke and Blair were the only two cars to lead laps. Those are the two strongest cars, I would say. So Blair should take that as a compliment. Like you said, should go home, be like, I was the fastest car. She'll maybe get her second career win another day, but Duke is going to be winning. He's going to be drinking wine, having bread, enjoying Paris, France. He's going to be he won at France, man. It's great job by Duke getting his second career win. That's all I got to say from my end.
Yes, and next week, the One-Up Superstar Series returns stateside for a race at the Kentucky Speedway out in Sparta, Kentucky. I'm sure that'll be a very fun race with its worn-out surface. It's multi-groove racing. We hope you'll join us for round number 14 on the One-Up Superstar schedule at Kentucky Speedway. So, we've wrapped up an exciting day of racing here from Paris. So from Cade Welty and from myself as well, we say goodbye from the Autodrome of Paris, and we say a big congratulations to Duke Anzac, twice a winner this season on the high banks. He's done it once again here at Paris.